Yo, what's up everybody and welcome to this new solo leveling Arise video. Today we have a very special tier list, and unlike any tier list you see on YouTube about the best units in the game, this tier list will be based only a zero value. So we are not ranking the units here based on their A5 or A10 or whatever max value they are providing. We rank them based on A0. I may give additional buoyants on the buoyants, for some units based on their potential. So this unit may be good at A0, maybe it is average, but there is a huge potential for this unit once you maximize it. Maybe I will give little buoyants for that, but however, the main factor that will decide where I place all the hunters here is their A0 value. Also, I apologize for if I were a little bit slow because I just broke my hand and I'm using one hand over here. So yeah, so starting first with Min. Min is very good unit, and I don't think he rely on his advancements at all. He provides amazing value at his A0. So the first and the most amazing thing about him, when you use his QTE, which when you swap to other character, he will charge the power gauge of all your team by 50%, and this is really huge. When you use his skill, his E, it increased the damage taken by 5%, and this even increased further if you use his QTE, which give, as we see here, discuss effect, which decreases the damage taken by 50%, and so this gives a lot of effects, especially when you use his ultimate. It give additional here's his ultimate. So when you use his ultimate, it gives additional effect when that discuss buff is active, which 40% of his additional crit damage. That's why it's always nice to have crit damage artifacts on Min. So even if we look at his advancement, they are good to have, but there is nothing crazy about them. There's nothing will make him like Superman once you get that advancement. It's all small improvement to man. His unit fantastically good at A0, and you shouldn't worry about having him to A5. Now if you got him to A5, that's good, but this hunter is very valuable at A0. That's why I'm gonna put him straight to his rank. Next is Dongsu. This dude used to be the best wind hunter in the game. Although I have him at A2, I don't really use him anymore because like the main selling point for him, he was the only hunter that has the ability to break the shields in the game. And right now we have another unit that does it better than him, which Melon. Now what's the point of him? There is many wind hunters that can out DPS him. The only special thing that he does, there is someone else does it better. So here, right. Next is Shaheen. Now Shaheen is one of those hunters that the advancements really matters for them. Shaheen is really good at A0, but like to get the full potential of Shaheen, you really need to at least to get this A1. So the dancer effect can stack up to 5 times. And this is really a big source of damage for Shaheen. Sorry. So stacking up to 3 times, it will become 5 times, and that will increase a lot of stats. Don't get me wrong, she's a good DPS. You can really start on investing on her. Her A1, as I said, is probably the most important one. Now, the A5 probably is the next big one, which the one that make her ultimate probably the strongest ultimate in the game. I mean, that at least in my opinion. But overall, she's good DPS. She's not the best DPS in the game at A0, but she's really good DPS. I bought her at A. You know, if this was Shaheen at A5, I probably bought her S rank, but at A1 she has a lot of problems, and I even have tried this when my little brother started playing the game, and he got A0 Shaheen. Like, she's hard to play. Like, you can't pull too much DPS out of Shaheen. Next is Emma. Although Emma isn't crazy DPS, but she provides some things that others don't provide, which the huge AoE range. If we look at the Battlefield of Time, for example, here, so although this is dark, but look, most of people you see here is using Emma because the high AoE range, and if there is someone doesn't use Emma, is probably a loser and can't get rank 1 like we, the one that use Emma, does. Also, Emma right now, I believe, the only fire breaker in the game, which give her a lot of value when we're talking about the elemental advantage. Her DPS is okay, I mean, there is nothing crazy about it, but she's really good at clearing instances or dungeons where there are a lot of monsters, and even on the battlefield of time, you still can get a lot of value out of Emma, especially if you're someone who just started playing the game. And Emma will be really valuable for you and will help you a lot. As I said, her problem that her DPS, especially in single target, isn't really that good DPS. I tell you from now, she's not really that good DPS in single target DPS. But overall, she still provides something that others don't provide. So I bought Emma on A rank. Next is Jiwoo. I think Jiwoo is one of those overrated units in the game. I see a lot of, especially when the game just released, everybody was botting Jiwoo on S rank. At that time, I didn't try the game on beta or I didn't even get early access or something like that. So I was following the trend, trying hard to get Jiwoo, and the moment I got her, I realized she's not that great. First of all, she is a breaker. So what I want from breaker is fast breaking, and would be nice if he provide buffs, and if he does good DPS, that's cool. Jiwoo doesn't provide a good DPS. I mean, compared to other units that we do have in the game, and I have her at A3 right now. And as you see, I don't use her at all. I even have her weapon somewhere else with Hansimi. And what also bad about her, if we look at her weapon. Okay, so stacking up to 20 times when used. So those are her abilities: the EQ and heavy attack, and the core attack, and the QTE for Jiwoo. So when you use that, you get stacks, and you need to get up to 20 times to get this crit damage increase. That means she has to be on the field to get advantage of this. And there is also another advancement. Can't recall exactly. So most of her abilities rely on like spamming her attack and her being on the field. And I don't think she's really that high DPS. And let's back to the main selling point for Jiwoo, her as breaker. I believe Nam, the SR hunter, faster breaker than her, and Nam is way easier to get. What's the point to put Jiwoo on my team? Only one point. That my Nam don't have weapon or something like that, so my combat power on Nam is low, and I need high combat number to not be on the red zone. That's the only times where I use Jiwoo. Other than that, Nam was always better breaker for me. So I think B rank is where she belongs. Next is Lebora. He's a very decent support. She have some nice ability, let's say, which remove the debuffs from the ground. I believe this the skill that does it. Yeah. So there's some monsters or bosses that's putting like poison in the ground, and Lebora can't remove that. Also, she provides buffs for your dark hunters. We're talking about A0, by the way. She can provide even more at higher advancement, but that's what we get out of her at A0. I mean, really good, nothing crazy about it, and she's pretty decent DPS, I'd say. So I think C is good for Lebora. So next is forgot his name. This is problem. This is problem, and they don't have him in this account. Hunter's review. Okay, Choy. Yes, Choy. My bad. So I've been sick with flu last week. I've just recovered to break my hand, so I apologize for not being able to concentrate. So Choy is meant to be a DPS. He provides some defense reduction, but overall the main selling point for him is being DPS, and his DPS isn't that great. So if you are someone who's looking for main DPS at A0 value, Choy isn't good investment for future. You can do your things with him for the moment, but once you get in harder content, you will really need better units. So B, that's where he belongs. Lem is another good DPS. I mean, he's good DPS, not really that great, and he is a breaker. The only problem with Lem is the release of this girl, that she does everything better than him. He's a good breaker, and he's a very decent DPS. I'd put him maybe on A rank, but I put him on C because there is someone does it better than him. Like this girl does exactly what Lem does, but she do it better than him. Okay, Silver main B Kyonho. He used to be a very bad DPS. I mean, not very bad DPS, but bad DPS. But recently he received buffs and his performance improved. However, he's not the unit that I advise anyone to start with. his DBS is really good. And I'm gonna lie, he's probably close to Charlotte right now with the recent buffs, although I believe Charlotte could maybe out DBS him. First of all, he rely on advancement. It's really important for him. The second thing is his play style. So this dude does more damage the more he gets low on his health. So the more low on health he is, the higher damage he does. So it's little a bit complicated to play with him, especially for someone who just started playing the game, because if you got too low, you may die. So I don't know. C rank probably where I'm gonna put him, especially at A0 value. Remember, you guys, this is A0 value because I'm 100% sure that I will get a lot of complaint about this in the comment section. So pick Yeon Ho, the human form. He used to be a really good breaker, one of the best breakers in the game, if wasn't the best on the time of releasing the game. And this is another like hunter that got nerfed by releasing of other units. So I bought it that symbol. There is Gogan He that do everything better than him. So sorry bro, but you're D rank now. Hansi Mei, a good healer, recover a lot of MB, a really good support to have, provide little a bit of buffs. I would say not really as Min or Melin, but really good. And her performance in many places were shocking to me, especially in the Gold Boss and other content. She surprised me because she's A0 and her performance was close from my A5 units. So this is A5, this dude is A2, she's A0, even her growth, and I don't even use her weapon, so you can see that she really surprised me. So I think a rank is really good for her. Wen Cho. At the time when the game released, this dude was always D rank. However, by adding the wind weakness to the workshop of Brilliant Light, everyone realized that he's the best windbreaker in the game. So people start using him more often, and I believe he received even buffs after that. So he's very usable right now, unless they release another windbreaker that does the job better than him. He's gonna be, I don't know. By the way, I just found a problem here. So this is C, this is B. My bad, guys. I just realized that. My apologies for that. Okay, the next is Alicia or Alicia. Alicia is really good DPS. If I have to like choose between all the DPS that I have in the game, which one is the perfect one, I'd probably pick Alicia. She's not the highest burst damage, she's not the highest DPS damage, but she provides a lot of value and provide a very good DPS. So her DPS is a top tier. She's not the highest DPS in the game, but she's really a top tier DPS. Her advancements are good, obviously, but she can be really useful even without any advancement. And Alicia has a lot of AoE, and since she can freeze the targets, she will give you a lot of safe play and a lot of luxury time while you're playing. Uh, Beside all of this, she can remove the debuffs on you. So if there is any poison or burn effect on you, Alicia can do it. All that with a very high DPS. So if you're someone who looking for a good DPS to upgrade and you just started playing the game, I highly advise you to use Alicia. She's really, really good. Next is Melon. Melon, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put her exactly because she's a really, really good support. She provides buffs to the core attack. She can heal with her Q. Her ultimate provides a very decent buff to everybody, by the way. She can provide defense buff, which means she can be helpful to other units that scales on defense other than the attack. Now the core attack damage and damage reduction. So this buff will increase with her A5, but we're talking about the value that we're getting at A0. Also, she will put buff similar to men, which dealing more damage to the target. I believe we're getting we're getting this buff at A0. Now this buff, I believe, no, it doesn't increase with our advancements. I think about her A rank because at A0 value, I think Min is more helpful than her, especially with that 50% ultimate charge when he uses his QT. That's a really massive buff that's put him ahead of other supports in the game. Next is Mary, the unit that knowing as DBS Queen right now in solo leveling Arise. Well, on here A5 state, but we're talking about A0 here, guys. So being the queen of DBS at A5 doesn't mean that she will be the queen of DBS at A0. And let's address the biggest problem with Mary right now. Mary, 80% of her DPS comes from the time when she activates her ultimate. So when she bought this mask, like the holo mask with Ichigo, when she used this mask, that's where the real damage began. But if you just started playing the game and you don't have, so this is not, we got another factor that affecting this, which her weapon. So when you enter this stage, if you don't have her weapon at A5, it will be really a problem for you to use Mary. And since we're talking at the value of A0, I don't think everybody will have Mary weapon at A5. Now this weapon is A9. By the way, this is free to play account. And I'm planning to make it A10 since my Mary is A6, guys. And I tell you, she's a beast. There is no one does damage like Mary. However, as I said, since she rely a lot on her ultimate, if you just started playing the game, if you don't have this weapon at A5, so when you are at A5, when you enter the stage, your power gauge is charged by 60%. Now, if you have her advancements, I believe A3, if wasn't mistaken, A2, I bet, A2. So her A2 will give you another 40%. So right now, if I enter any dungeon, immediately my power gauge will be full. Instantly, I will spam her ultimate. However, this is not going to be the case for you guys. If you're just starting playing with Mary, you will realize that she does shitty damage without her ultimate, and it will take a while to charge her ultimate. So you will feel like she's really bad DPS, and she is without her ultimate. She is bad DPS without her ultimate. So if you don't have this weapon at A5, I don't know. I probably bought her at A rank since you are investing in a DBS monster in the future, but for the time being, if you don't have for weapon A5 or at least pair her with men, you're gonna have a lot of problems with Mary. Next is Goganhi, the best breaker in the game, the unkillable monster. So there is some dungeons, you know, when there is like 3 bosses or 4 bosses rushing to you and there is no even time to dodge. I was struggling on the reverse mode when they released Gogan. All I did, standing in the mid like a beast, break all of their power gauge or break gauge, whatever, and kill them all with this monster. This is how easy it is to play with him. Breaker, unkillable monster, and he does a lot of damage. Like, there is no breaker right now in the game even close to Goganhi in terms of damage. S rank without thinking. Okay, so this is another dark breaker that providing some buffs to other units, aka Charlotte. I mean, she's good. Let's see what she provide at A0. Where? So this is Harper. So when she use her E, I believe, she deal Almighty Break. By the way, this is the only hunter that we do have right now that dealing Almighty Break. Gogan he do Almighty Break with his ult only at A3, but she do it at A0. Also, when she using her skill, she putting like the buff on the boss, increase the ultimate skill damage taking from dark hunters by 1%, stack up to 12 times, aka 12% damage increase from the ultimate, and we all know who's the hunter that relying on the ultimate damage. Her break is insanely fast, and there is no dark breaker right now in the game even close to her. And even if you use her as a support to Sanjimu, she dealing decent breaking amount and also stun the target for 3 seconds. Even her attack stun the target or paralyze the target for 3 seconds, which really useful. So I think A rank, probably I put her at the bottom of A rank. And next is Yion, and this is really difficult hunter to place on this tier list. First of all, there is no real challenge for the fire hunters right now. So there is no big content where the fire is the meta in the game, where we can push those fire hunters to the limits. I do have Yion, A2 and A5 weapon. She's doing okay damage. I will be honest with you, she wasn't really that good before she receiving the buff batch or 2 batches ago. I'm not sure exactly, but I remember that she received buff, and she's doing a really good DPS right now. And I believe since the hunter is the only element that didn't get chance to shine at all in the game, I believe there is new content incoming to the game where the fire are the new meta. And when that time come, Yion will shine in the game. She does really good AoE damage. Her damage is really good. I'll be honest with you. She's better than anyone we place here, so probably I put her at the bottom of A rank. And next is Charlotte. Charlotte is top tier dark DPS right now in the game, but we're talking about her value at A0. Now, the main selling point for Charlotte is her ultimate damage. She's the only unit that's able to spam ultimate, and they even do a trick with her, which the double ultimate trick. So, to if you didn't play Charlotte and you don't know how this works exactly, so Charlotte doesn't have ultimate gauge. So usually with other units in the game, you see your ultimate skill, there is like charging on the power gauge, and once it's full, you can use your ultimate. This is not the case. You don't charge her ultimate skill the normal way when you are playing with Charlotte. So you need to use your tier 3 basic attack. So the first basic attack called tier 1, the second tier 2, the third is tier 3. You need to do it 2 times, and once you do that, you will be able to use her ultimate. Now, what's the problem at A0? First, her normal attack or basic attacks is very slow. It's really annoying to do this 2 times, especially when there is monsters that really moving so fast and interrupt you a lot. Sometimes I have her at A5, and sometimes I really don't get enough time to like get the ultimate charged. Now this is rare case, but it happens sometime for me. And look, this is the advancement 4. Her basic attack is 60% faster, and I need to do it 1 time only due to her A1. And like her A1 is really big. Like I don't know how I'm gonna place her. So the A1 isn't far away from A0, so maybe I will be biased and put her a little above, but without this A1, she's really bad. Like her ultimate cooldown is 40 seconds. There is nothing special about her. So what makes Charlotte special is ability to spam her ultimate. I know that the other advancement, by the way, the A3 will change her ultimate entirely to a new ultimate which deals 70% more damage, and her A5 is a stack. So whenever you would use your basic attack, you get 1 stack. Each stack gives you 8%. So if you do the math, that's 120% more damage to your ultimate. I believe her Q skills, E skill. So that's a lot of damage. And as I said, if you don't know how her ultimate works, so the cooldown for the ultimate is not on the time you use the ultimate. There is cooldown for charging the ultimate. I know this may sound complicated for those who didn't use Charlotte. So the cooldown is not for using the ultimate, is the cooldown for charging the ultimate. So what we do sometimes to do double ult trick, use 3 basic attack, swap to other our supports, use all the buffs that we could use, swap back to Charlotte. Probably by this time, her ultimate cooldown or ultimate charge cooldown almost reset. So we use the ultimate and then use 3 basic attack and immediately will charge another ultimate, so we use double ultimate. This is the double ultimate trick for Charlotte. And as I said, with A0, I don't know, probably A is good for Charlotte. If it was with her A1, I'll put her S rank, but A0, no. A is max where she could go for. Gina, I'll be honest, I didn't use Gina, so I don't wanna like try to be the smart guy that knows everything, but I know for a fact that she provide a very decent buffs, and like the support units will always be useful, guys, anywhere. For example, where's her weapon. I forgot where I bought it. So this is her weapon, which give a lot of MB recover. So she provide MB recover. She provide actually universal buffs, so she can buff other units other than fire hunters. Although she supposed to be fire support, exclusive support for fire units. I don't know. Maybe B, maybe A rank. Probably B, but top B rank. And probably the same with Ayla. Maybe I will place Ayla a little bit. Ayla probably is the top support on the game on A5, guys. However, I tell you why she's not that great at A0. First, as we see here, when you use her core attack or we use her QTE, so she will provide one, keep on your mind, one of those buffs: strength, magician, wheel of fortune. So crit buff, heal and shield, sorry, and damage increase by 12%. Now, why I'm saying her advancements is really massive. First of all, the first advancement is crazy. So what she does is when you use the Death Nova, by the way, the Death Nova is this skill, her E. When you use this skill, the next character in the order in your team will charge her ultimate skill by 60%, and the cooldown will be decreased by 20%. And guess who's the hunter that has 20-second cooldown for his ultimate? Yes, it's Charlotte. But even if you use it for someone else other than Charlotte, it's gonna be crazy. You can use this with, let's say, Mary. Will work wonderful with Mary if you have some other hunter that can recover her mana. So you will be able to recover the ultimate constantly and without any cooldown. And this hunter will give you massive buffs to your team, as you see here. If you got her A3, all the buffs that I've mentioned early will provide them at the same time. And as we see, her ultimate skill will even deal more, will give more buffs when you get her F5. So Ayla is really expensive hunter to get all the value out of her, unlike someone like Min Byung. So this was my personal A0 tier list. I hope you like it, guys. And let me know in the comment section down below if you disagree with any placement here on the tier list. Now, if this was A5, this story will be absolutely different. The Shaheen will be S for sure, Mary S, Melon probably S, Ayla S for sure, even before Min Byung. Who else? So there is a lot of hunters that will be raised on the tier list if this was an A5 tier list. But as I said, this is A0. So if you just started the game and you want to get hunter to help you in the game, this should give you an idea on what you expect to get once you get the first copy of this hunter. This was everything about my tier list. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. Also, I will really appreciate if you support me on the Netmarble support program, as it helps me a lot to grow on the future. And the thing that I can help and payback to the community is sending the codes that I receive from the Netmarble support program as soon as possible. So thanks very much for watching. See you soon.